We come to the next chapter in the Donald Trump election interference case, where Fani Big Money G. Willis and Mr. Nathan Wade fumble the case. A judge just made a ruling that 6 of the charges are going to be dropped or have been dropped. Let's take a listen.
Breaking news, Blaine. We wanted to ask you about the election there in Georgia last night, but we just got a filing from the court there in Fulton County. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I've just obtained that filing. And basically what is happening is that Judge Scott McAfee is dismissing several of the charges here in Georgia against former President Donald Trump. 6 of the charges in this order. The charges so far, and I'm still making my way through the judge's ruling right now, but appear to do with solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer. Those were certainly some of the charges that he was facing. Other people that were named, of course, Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, Johnny Eastman, Mark Meadows.
Now, the judge, Mr. Scott McAfee, he gave his reasons for throwing out the charges. He said, hold on, let me get my glasses. Put my glasses on. The judge overseeing the Donald Trump election interference case in Georgia has dismissed several charges against the former president and 5 of his co-defendants, but has stressed that his decision does not mean the entire document is dismissed. So now, Mr. McAfee has thrown these charges out, but I want to focus on something specific because this just kind of stood out to me. This is one of the reasons why he said he'd thrown out the case, the charges. The judge argued that the charges contain all the essential elements of the crimes but failed to allege sufficient detail regarding the nature of their commission, i.e. the underlying felony solicited. So, details. Here we have a demonstration of incompetence. Big Fani and Mr. Nathan Wade, because everyone's saying that he's not qualified. But here we have a demonstration of why people are saying that. See, it's detail. Detail kind of separates who's a professional and who's an amateur. It lacks detail. They said why they brought the charges, but they didn't give a demonstration of what exactly was done for them to be charged with these charges. Now, Mr. Wade, he's never tried a felony before. And he was a traffic cop. Not a traffic cop, a traffic judge, where most of the cases that he handled were traffic. Now, if you were driving through Fulton County and you got pulled over by a police and got a ticket, you'd probably be in trouble because you'd be in front of Mr. Wade. But this case that we're talking about here, this Donald Trump case, this felony case, this really, really, really big case, he's out of his league. And here's a demonstration of it. Now, Miss Fani, she is really not new to being thrown off cases. Let's listen.
Going back to the investigative phase, the DA got herself disqualified from a small piece of the case because she created a political conflict of interest. The judge who was overseeing the grand jury removed Fani Willis from the case.
So here you have 2 people, Fani Big Money G. Willis and Mr. Nathan Wade, who just kind of seem to not know what they're doing. And I'm pretty sure in another couple of days, well, the judge is going to make his decision tomorrow, so that'll be the next chapter. Now, CNN, they were always on Fani's side, and now they're starting to throw her under the bus. So you really know Big Fani is messing things up. Let's listen to this.
Look, it's embarrassing for prosecutors. It's a screw up by prosecutors when you bring a charge and then a judge throws it out before it even goes to trial.
Well, and that leads me to this question, Ellie, because there was so much was made of Fani Willis and her handling of this case, and the hearings that we saw play out on live television was such a spectacle. Does this bolster in the judge's mind the idea that perhaps the Fani Willis should not be handling this case, or is that a step too far?
It should not bolster the conflict of interest argument. I think these are and should be seen as two entirely separate questions. The question in the decision that we just got is the indictment properly constructed? Were these charges properly put before the grand jury, and are they sustainable? And the judge said, with respect to 6 of the charges in this case, again, not all of them, but just 6, no, they were not properly brought.
So now you don't even have the news media on your side anymore. So, you know, Big Fani, I think she's really got a problem. Now you got these other so-called district attorneys coming out of the woodworks trying to defend Fani. It's all racism, it's all this, it's all that. Let's listen to her.
I don't even know where you started here with me. All the things that I can say, let me tell you something. For those that don't know what privilege looks like, it is playing out in front of your face because you have a Black woman who is educated, who is doing her job, who is elected, who has never been accused of being a criminal, right?
Just because she's never been accused of being a criminal doesn't mean that she's not capable of committing a crime. There are a lot of people that are very nice people. They've always done good things. They're just great people. And then all of a sudden a circumstance comes along that makes them other than what they normally are. So again, because she's never been accused of being a criminal, that doesn't mean anything.
Right? But for whatever reason, she's on trial because she's actually trying to do her job. So for once, we don't really want the prosecutor to do the prosecution.
No. She's not on trial for doing her job. You got that wrong. She's on trial because we're trying to figure out whether she lied under oath. That's why she's on trial. She's also on trial because we're trying to figure out whether she misappropriated taxpayers' money. So get it right. That's why we're here.
So for once, we don't really want the prosecutor to do the prosecution.
For once.
But usually we do, right? But it's only because of who's on the other side of that prosecution. And so for those that want to pretend as if we don't have racism, for those that want to pretend like there is no such thing as white privilege, that's not the case. Because as a former public defender, I've never had anybody that had 91 counts. I think the most of anybody that I've had probably had close to 40 counts or something. And let me tell you, he never got out of jail. Like once he went in, he wasn't able to post bail. And then I've had people in multiple jurisdictions because I'm licensed on the state level, federal level in multiple states. And so I've had people that have been kind of caught up. This dude is in 4 different jurisdictions and somehow he's still walking free. Now you go see if your cousin can do that.
Right. It's racism. It's racism. We're out to get Black women. You know, accountability is like kryptonite to some of us. Hold people accountable. This woman is a district attorney. We hold her to a higher standard than your cousin. But anyway, let me know what you think. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.